Hello, Potato, and welcome to another theme week. So in the past, we've done Just Add Water week, and we did a couple weeks recently, or just building Lego, although I really wasn't counting those as theme weeks. But this week, I am. This week is 6 days, because Sunday will be part of this week as well. Saturday won't. Saturday's weekend magic. But 6 days of Heinz. Yes, you heard me correctly. Heinz. And if you're an American like me, when I say Heinz, you probably think of ketchup. Because yeah, when you say Heinz, that's what I think of first too. Ketchup, mustard. They make a chili sauce that I've never tried, but I've always seen it on the shelf there, and I've never thought to try it. They make relish too. Basically, actually no, they don't make mustard, do they? I'm thinking of Kraft. Of course, Kraft is Heinz. It's Kraft Heinz. Is there a Heinz mustard? I don't think there is. I think it's a Kraft ketchup. But anyways, basically, if you put it on a hot dog, there's a good chance that Heinz makes it. But outside the US, they make other things. They make actual foods, not just condiments, like soups and canned pastas and beans. Yep, Heinz Beans. Now, growing up as I did, watching a lot of British television, you know, your Doctor Who's and your Monty Pythons and your Are You Being Served, there's lots of times I've heard reference to beans. And of course, as an American, when I think a can of beans, I think baked beans. And those are apparently a quite different thing. These are beans in tomato sauce. And if you look at the ingredients, which are lovely and short compared to American ingredients, we just have beans, tomatoes, water, sugar, modified corn flour, spirit vinegar, salt, and natural flavors. No corn syrup, nothing with 20 syllables in it. I'm not sure what to expect here other than beans and tomato. But yeah, that's going to be our week. We're going to do a week on Heinz foods that you don't normally get here in the US. So yeah, today we're going to start off with your basic Heinz beans. Which, I mean, to me, when I think of Heinz Beans, well, I think of two things. I think of the Monty Python Spam sketch, where he offers to eat her beans. And I think of Digitizer's Beanus, because Beanus likes beans. But yeah, I've never tried these before. I've rarely seen them. I think my local grocery store does have these in their international section. What used to be the ethnic section. Yep, now it's international because it has like a little British section in it too, where they have various little like custards and stuff. I've tried the custard before too. The custard's good, like Devon custard. Anyways, yeah, today we're going to start with your basic Heinz beans. Maybe try a little beans on toast. I've always heard that referenced in things, and I've never tried it myself. But first we need to check out the beans. I've already read you the ingredients. You can either microwave them or cook them on the stovetop. And it claims no artificial colors, preservatives, or flavors, suitable for vegetarians, an excellent source of fiber. And yeah, you can see I've purchased these at World Market for $2.49. Not sponsored. This can supposedly is three servings, which I think that's fairly in line with what an American can would say. 100 calories per serving, so 300 calories for the can. No fat, no cholesterol, 11% of your sodium, so if you eat the whole can, that's 33%. Yeah, not bad. I mean, not a lot of vitamins or anything. It's got some calcium. It's got 1.5 milligrams of iron, which is nothing. And is this down here something about it counting as a serving of vegetables? What gets me is this actually has instructions on it for how to open the can, which that feels like a very American thing to me. To open can, place can on flat surface with tab nearest you and lift tab fully. Turn can holding firmly. Pull lid back. To fully remove, gently ease the lid off. If you prefer to use a can opener, please open the other end. So I could just use a tin opener and open this side. And while I should use a can opener, because I think we're going to splatter a little bit if I do the pull top, this would be our visual, and I don't want that as our visual. So, tab closest to me, lift tab fully. Rotate. Ease lid up. Come on. Well, it kind of looks like a Chef Boyardee pasta, doesn't it? It's very red. Of course, it's tomato, so it should be. Let's see if we can't just like get a better view there. Obviously can't tilt the can because it's full of liquid, and I will pour stuff all over the table. And while I have the plastic down, why tempt fate? Yep, there is what our beans look like. It's very red. Let's see if we can... I mean, it looks kind of like baked beans, but let's give it a smell, and you know, I'm gonna taste it before we heat it up because why not? Sorry if that made you nauseous. All right, so yeah, let's give it a sniff. It just kind of smells like beans. Doesn't really smell of much of anything. They do look different than the kind of beans you get in baked beans. Very, very white. And maybe that's just because baked beans have more stuff that dyes them. But yeah, it doesn't. I don't really smell a lot of tomato. It doesn't smell. I mean, it looks a little bit like a Chef Boyardee can of stuff, but it doesn't smell like that at all. It just kind of smells very, very faintly of tomato and of beans. Different. Not overly tomatoey. Slightly sweet. Those aren't bad. So, yep, I'm going to go ahead and heat these up on the stove. We're not going to shoot that. There's no reason to. And when I come back, we'll try some beans hot, the way they're meant to be served. And we are back with our piping hot Heinz beans with tomato sauce. And, yeah, I've nothing much to remark on the cooking them. So let's give them a try hot. I'm guessing they'll probably taste better hot than they did just out of the tin at room temperature. Not bad. They don't have the strong flavor of like your American baked beans. And I looked up a little bit on how to make beans on toast, or the proper way to make beans on toast, of which there seems to be a fair bit of debate about. But one thing that the algorithm is, you cannot use American baked beans. And I can see why, because American baked beans are very, very, very sweet, and these aren't sweet. Heated up, I'm not really getting even that little bit of sweetness I got before. And maybe that was just mostly the sauce, I don't know. But that little bit of sweetness I got when I first opened the can, I'm not getting that at all now. I mean, if anything, one could argue it's maybe a little bit bland, a little bit chalky is not quite right, but a little bit of that from the beans themselves. So I can see, you know, you might want to add something to this, and maybe it's just my American palate, but I do kind of like it better than baked beans. I've always found baked beans to be very, very sweet. But, you know, I mentioned beans on toast, and you can't mention beans on toast. I mean, for me, beans on toast are one of the things I've always heard referenced with these kind of beans. So I went ahead and tried to make some. Emphasis on tried. I mean, yeah, how do you screw up beans on toast, right? So there seems to be some discussion. I didn't find a lot of stuff on it, but what I did find was that there's a debate on what needs to go on them. I saw basically seem to break down to mostly the arguments of ketchup, Worcestershire sauce, or probably just Worcester sauce, I don't know, and brown sauce. And I did happen to have some HP sauce in the fridge, so we've tried all three of those. And then there's the discussion of cheese as well. Some people say feta, mozzarella, Parmesan, but I guess the traditional one, the article I found that was the most adamant about how it should only be ketchup, also said it should only be cheddar. And I think the cheddar I have is a little sharper than what it said to use. But, you know, you work with what you have. I'm not going to go out and buy cheddar just to make beans on toast. So, yep, I've made a batch with some ketchup on it, some Worcestershire sauce, and some HP sauce. So let's give them a try and see what is best. Maybe I should have toasted that toast a little bit longer. Oh well. Maybe it shouldn't have taken quite so long to get it put together and then back here and set up to shoot again. Alright, so here is our ketchup. I don't think I actually really got any ketchup on there, so let's make sure we get some in there. And get some more of those beans. Why not? Get some of that cheese in there too. Get the whole thing. A little cheese stretch, yay! Alright, here is our ketchup. Okay, not bad. The ketchup adds a little sweetness to it. I imagine, to be fair, I imagine our ketchup is probably a little different than British ketchup. I'm going to guess theirs probably doesn't have, like, corn syrup in it. Does it? Yeah, because it's like the fourth ingredient. No, like the third ingredient. Tomatoes, vinegar, corn syrup. So I'm guessing corn syrup probably isn't the fourth ingredient in their ketchup, given that it's not in the beans here at all. So I'm guessing our ketchup probably tastes a little bit sweeter than theirs. But it's not bad. Not a huge fan of that. Let's try it with the other sauces. So here is our Worcestershire sauce, a little Lee & Perrins, which unfortunately aren't sponsoring this video either. Nobody is sponsoring this video. Alright, so here is, I got some Lee & Perrins on there. Alright, let's give it a try. I like that one better. That's not bad. It's got a little, just a little more savoriness to it. I approve of the Lee & Perrins. Well, let's finish up. So HP sauce, if you've never had HP sauce, and the comparison I'm going to make is probably not all that helpful, but the ingredients on it are tomatoes, vinegar, malt vinegar, molasses, glucose fructose syrup, so they do have some corn syrup in there, or from wheat, spirit vinegar, sugar dates, modified cornstarch, rye, flour, salt, spices, natural flavor extracts, tamarind. What it reminds me of a little bit, and this is why I say it's not going to be terribly helpful, is it makes me think a little bit of like a slightly more sour katsu sauce. And I really do like katsu sauce. So I'm hoping this will go well. I might try it with some katsu sauce. I've still got some beans left over here. Maybe I'll try some with some katsu sauce. You know what I think really would go well on this, after eating those first two, is an egg. A fried egg goes good on pretty much everything though, so that's kind of a given. Oh, didn't really get any cheese there, did I? Let's get some cheese. Got some HP on there. Alright, so let's try this one. That blends really well. Again, a little bit like the katsu sauce. I think maybe the dates are the thing that I'm tasting a little bit different from that katsu sauce. But that actually blends really well with the beans. I can see why people would do that. I'm going to go... So rating the three after immediately only having a bite of each. These are my lunch, so I'll be finishing them. But after only having a bite of each, I have to say, I like the HP sauce the one the best. The Worcestershire is not bad. The ketchup just doesn't do much. I think some of it gets lost in the tomato sauce. Or maybe I just didn't put enough. Maybe you're supposed to just like absolutely drown it. I don't know. The instructions I found weren't super helpful on that front. But, yeah, I mean, I like these beans. I can see getting these again. I think I kind of like these better than like the Bush's baked beans, which is what we usually get. Which I absolutely would not use for this. Because they're too sweet. Maybe grilling beans, like those ranch beans. I don't remember who now, but I think somebody, might be Bush's, makes like a ranch bean, which are a little bit peppery. Those would probably be good on toast. Those aren't these. I wouldn't put them in that category, but those might be okay on toast. So yep, that's it for the first day of Heinz Week. We've tried Heinz Beans in tomato sauce. Tomorrow, we'll try another Heinz Bean item. I'm not sure which one yet. I had them all sitting on the counter. So we'll figure out what to do with them. I don't think we'll do beans on toast. Well, maybe. Maybe. I don't know. But we'll try them. So yeah, that's day one. I do think the Heinz Beans and tomato sauce go best with the HP sauce. The Lee & Perrins isn't bad. The ketchup just didn't do much for me. But yeah, I hope you found this at all interesting. If you did, please give this video a like and subscribe and ring the little bell so that you know when I post part 2. And I'll see you in the next video.